Right, now let's try to bring some much-needed clarity to the great issue which divides opinions like nothing else. It splits entire communities and even families right down the middle and defies all attempts to predict how it's all going to play out. Factor in the occasional high-profile political resignation, and I'm sure you've worked out what I'm talking about. Simon Gilbert certainly has.
There have been protests on the street, calls for a referendum and claims the whole thing is a waste of money. No, it's not Brexit, it's Warwick District Council's plan to create a new £50 million headquarters. The Conservative-run council plans to replace its existing Leamington base with a new headquarters on the site of a multi-storey car park in the town. Such as the heat around the project, it played a part in one councillor resigning from the party.
I think the executive and the leader in particular is not listening to the public. There's huge public opinion that the car parking strategy has not been sorted out properly and that we are going to lose trade from tourists and people who work in the town because they'll have nowhere to park.
The council is adamant it needs a new headquarters. It says the one it's got is not fit for purpose anymore. So what's your alternative?
There has to be alternatives. Don't get me wrong, the Covent Garden car park has got concrete cancer and that has got to come down. Everybody knows that. I believe we could have a headquarters outside the town.
Hundreds of people took to the streets recently to protest against the move, and now there are calls for the decision to be put in the hands of the people by giving them a referendum.
The public are very angry about what has happened. They haven't been involved until just very recently, just a couple of weeks ago. This has been running now for a year, when the public has been calling for a public meeting and the council has refused, even voting against attending a public meeting, and there is no mandate for it, so that's why there should be a referendum.
Warwick District Council claims the move to a new building will save taxpayers up to £300,000 a year. It also says much of the £50 million cost will be offset by the construction of around 200 new homes on the site of its former base. But in order to make the plan cost-free, the council is having to waive its own planning rules. Developers are usually required to include 40% of affordable housing as part of any new housing development. But in this instance, there will not be one single affordable home. That's led to criticism from residents who have set up a campaign group to oppose the project.
People are very, very concerned when a council is saying one thing to developers and then when it comes to its own development, absolutely ignoring their own policy. And particularly with an issue as sensitive as affordable and social housing, when we're in the midst of a national housing crisis and there are homeless people on the streets of Leamington, people in Leamington know what's going on and they really don't like the council's attitude.
Can the leadership convince people this move is a good deal? Will it ever happen? Will there be any long-term financial benefit? For the people of Leamington and Warwick, it's as clear as Brexit.